This is Techie Granny here to host a retrospective of Jacquie Lawson's Advent calendars. In 2010, Jacquie Lawson released her first electronic Advent calendar, The Village. As of the beginning of 2022, she has released a dozen of these annual calendars. Part 3 of this 6-part series covers 2014 through 2015. I will only be showing a small number of screenshots for each animation or activity. So if you want to enjoy a more extended experience, watch my 2014 Christmas Market Advent Calendar walkthrough for my playlist. This part of my retrospective reviews Advent calendars that I own and am thoroughly familiar with. So I will be taking a different approach. With the first 4 calendars, I tried to recreate a more complete experience than I got from watching the walkthroughs that were available on YouTube by sharing some of the background about the calendars or animations. For example, by analyzing screenshots of the opening pages and the cottage of the 2012 calendar, I discovered a dimension to the calendar that wasn't initially apparent to me by simply watching Kelly M's video. I want to continue to give some background and remark on features that aren't necessarily apparent on first glance. But going forward, I also want to share my enjoyment of aspects of each calendar. Now a word about activation codes. I believe this applies to the first 4 calendars, but I can't say for sure. I know it applies to the calendars I have. The activation code works slightly different for the 2021 London calendar, and I will describe my understanding of that in Part 6. For most, if not all, of the earlier calendars, once you made your purchase, you were emailed a link to a download file that installed the application. You were also given an activation code to enter once the application was installed and started up for the first time. These activation codes will only work an undisclosed number of times. This was to reduce the incidence of pirating of the software. For years, you could purchase the current year's Advent calendar and the previous year's version on Jacquie's site. As of the beginning of 2021, the 2018, 2019, and 2020 Advent calendars were still available to purchase. But around the end of October 2021, all of those calendars were pulled from the website. Currently, in early 2022, only the 2021 London Advent calendar is available for purchase. Jacquie's site states that these calendars are designed to be fully functional for only one Christmas season. You can purchase a calendar in November, but only certain activities will be available, and the opening page will show darkened and/or shuttered buildings. These calendars have a working clock tracking the date and time, so in December of the year the calendar was made for, you could only see the current and past days' animations or activities with gold ornaments showing future activities. As you played each animation or activity, the buildings would light up. After December 25th, all the activities could be enjoyed. These calendars work year-round, but the functionality that was present in the first season will be lost unless you reinstalled and reactivated the calendar. Then you would see the darkened or shuttered buildings, but there would be no gold ornaments, and you could access all animations and activities whenever you wanted in any order. Welcome to the Christmas Market Advent Calendar. Installing the calendar placed a snow globe on your desktop that you double-clicked to launch the app. This calendar cost $4 US with a discount if multiple copies were purchased at the same time. This calendar had a single opening page. It had a working clock, and you could see a daytime or nighttime view depending on when you played. I previously explained how the ornaments worked. For some reason, I had a hard time getting them to disappear from the opening page. Leaving the mouse alone for a few seconds didn't work. Later calendars included the ability to manually hide the ornaments. Note the beautiful frame around the opening page. A description of the animation or activity for that day was displayed in a box. As you can see at the bottom, from right to left, you have the option to go to the menu, shrink the scene back to the snow globe icon, go to the market, cycle through the days, go to the family room, or adjust the music player. Each animation was accompanied by music which I won't play to honor the copyright. The nighttime view showed the phases of the moon. With the Christmas Market, Victorian, and probably the first 4 calendars, you could see all the phases of the moon by cycling through each day at nighttime. I actually showed this sequence in my 2015 Victorian Advent Calendar walkthrough. This calendar had 20 days of animations and 5 days of holiday activities. It had a secondary screen that featured daily books and 5 games and activities. Some games in the secondary areas of all these calendars, like the card games, are not really holiday themed. But in terms of overall adherence to theme, I thought the 2014 calendar was one of the most cohesive. Both the Christmas market and Victorian calendars had introductory sequences which only came up right after the calendars were activated and apparently never came up again unless you reinstalled and activated the app. I was able to record these for my walkthroughs by using a Flash player to view the animations. Jackie's first 7 calendars were written with Macromedia Flash software. In the family room, you could play games and puzzles as well as make snowflakes, decorate the tree, and view the daily books. It was fun to see the animals' antics or see Easter eggs when you clicked on the fireplace, on the teddy bear, or on the presents beneath the flower arrangement. December 1st, time to ring in the holidays. On the hour, you could see the bell ringers on the opening page. This is one of the only screenshots I had that didn't have the ornaments. I loved this calendar because it reminded me of my visit to Christmas markets in Germany and Austria in the early 1980s. December 2nd, make way for the Mouse King. This booth has made appearances in the 2018 Edinburgh and 2021 London calendars. December 3rd, let's have some fun on the slopes. Tobogganing is a common theme in Jackie's cards and calendars. The boy and snowman make an appearance in the imaginary train sequence in the seaside and both London calendars. After the animation, the painting shows up in the family room. December 4th, Ted's going for an exciting ride. A similar version of this animation appeared on December 14th in the 2020 Nordic Advent calendar. December 5th, glorious globes of glass. Your decorated ornaments appear in that booth. This is the only ornament decorating activity that I ever saw in a Jackie calendar, which is a shame. I really enjoyed it and would love to see it again. December 6th, light up those dark corners. This booth makes an appearance in the 2018 Edinburgh and 2021 London calendars. December 7th, time to watch a picturesque parade. I love this light parade and I enjoyed the drama of each of the figures lighting up one at a time. You can see my walkthrough for the effect. A version of this parade appeared in the Seaside calendar. December 8th, find your inner florist. This interface is similar to the flower arrangement activity in the 2013 Edwardian calendar. I hope we see this activity in a future calendar. December 9th, Pandemonium on the Rink. This is similar to the Ice Surprise card on Jackie's site. Clumsiness on the ice and snow is a common theme in Jackie's cards and calendars. December 10th, time to buy a nice bushy tree. I love these animations where trees or other objects get magically decorated. December 11th, it's looking bare under the tree. This activity was repeated in the Village and Cotswold calendars. I'd like to see it more often. December 12th, a magical ride in the snow. This is one of several different sleigh ride animations from Jackie's cards and calendars. They remind me of sleigh rides I took in Germany over the years. December 13th, oh dear, what a sugary scrap. German gingerbread tastes quite different than what we make in the U.S. December 14th, Tranquility in the Mountain Chapel. This animation is identical to the Mountain Bells card on Jackie's site. December 15th, come on Birdie, keep up. The area on the shore with the wreath and flowers is gorgeous. I love the way the animals are portrayed like a group of children. December 16th, Matryoshka Madness. The workbench is also included in the Good Shepherd card as well as December 21st of this calendar. December 17th, what a colorful display. Here is an example of how a picture is slowly revealed to dramatic effect by Jackie's team. December 18th, Ted dreams of a tropical paradise. I'm particularly fond of the animations with teddy bears. December 19th, make a pretty wreath for the family room. This activity was available in more than half of the calendars. I love it. December 20th, who's helping themselves to the chestnuts? There's nothing like fresh, piping hot chestnuts from a street vendor at a Christmas market or on the streets of New York City or Rome during the winter. Hubby and I have tried roasting fresh chestnuts at home and they never come out the same. December 21st, a timely visit to the church. Nativity scenes are a common theme in Jacquie's calendars. Recognize the stained glass from December 23rd in the 2012 ALPINE calendar? December 22nd, time for some fashionable fun. This and the Edwardian calendar are the only ones with paper dolls. I love these costumes. They're quite beautiful and distinct. I believe they're from Eastern Europe. December 23rd, make a delicious seasonal treat. This is a typical Jacquie Lawson animation that gives a recipe and shows a yummy holiday treat being prepared and baked. This animation is nearly identical to December 22nd of the 2017 ALPINE calendar. December 24th, guess who's waiting in his grotto? I recognize pieces of this animation from some of Jacquie's Christmas cards. I think the reuse of animations across the cards and calendars is a good idea. Most people don't notice it, and it keeps Jacquie's production costs down since card development can take hundreds of hours. I haven't noticed anything being used more than 2 or 3 times across cards and calendars. December 25th. It's Christmas Day, time for a final tour of the town. The tradition continues of showing a recap of what has happened during the month. This concludes my review of the 2014 Christmas market calendar. I will only be showing a small number of screenshots for each animation or activity, so if you want to enjoy a more extended experience, watch my video from my playlist. Welcome to the 2015 Victorian Advent Calendar. Installing the calendar placed a snow globe on your desktop that you double-clicked to launch the app. This calendar cost $4 with a discount if multiple copies were purchased at the same time. This was the first calendar to have 4 opening pages that encompassed a little town. It had a working clock, and you could see a daytime or nighttime view depending on when you played. Clicking on a red ornament took you to the current day's activities or animations. Gold ornaments were for future days and green for past days. Note the beautiful frame around each opening page. A description of the animation or activity for that day was displayed in a box. The nighttime views showed the phases of the moon. At the top of the page, you had the option to cycle through the days. As you can see at the bottom from right to left, you had the option to go to the menu, hide or show the ornaments, shrink the scene back to the snow globe icon, or adjust the music player. Each animation was accompanied by music which I won't play to honor the copyright. These calendars were typically sold in November and designed to have limited functionality before December. After December 25th, the calendars were completely unlocked and could be enjoyed throughout the year. Special features like darkened windows, as you'd see before all animations were unlocked, or introductory animations would no longer be accessible unless you reinstalled and reactivated the calendar. By this calendar, people on the opening pages were large enough to be easily seen. Also, by clicking on certain objects, you could see Easter eggs. Please see my playlist to see the Easter egg video for this calendar. Instead of a family room as its secondary page, this calendar had an information center, with a series of daily books explaining traditions depicted on each day. Additional activities were accessed through icons on the opening pages, including puzzle pieces, a snowflake for a snowflake maker, and a tree to decorate the town's tree. You could click several times on the snowman to give him or her changes of clothing and hats. Since I already introduced Beverly Pass cues at the beginning of part 1 of this retrospective, and I already introduced Sally Lisney during the 2013 calendar, I will take this opportunity to introduce John Bloom and animator Tom Evans. According to the Art Credits book, John Bloom designs the opening pages of the Advent calendars. Buildings in the calendars used to be named after team members as well as after Jacquie. For example, in 2010 you see Bev's Coffee Shop, Bloom's Books, and Lisney's Delicatessen. In 2014, here's Bev's Florals. In 2015, there's Lisney Street, and behind Bare Violins you see the Bloom Gallery. There's also Lawson's Millinery and Evans & Son Stationery, with the initials JL at the top of the building. This animation only ran the first time that you started up the calendar. December 1st, festive fun starts at the bandstand. December 2nd, let's add some color to our scene. This is one of my all-time favorite Jacquie Advent calendar activities. It was only ever used this once. December 3rd, Have you seen the newfangled pedal-pushing postman? I so love this little town. December 4th. Are you ready for a smashing good time? This is a simpler version of the game with only 10 levels, while the 2020 Nordic calendar version had 20 levels. December 5th. Let's welcome a quintet of fine string players. This is one of Sally Lisney's contributions. Remember, she's a violinist. December 6th. Hark! Is that music at the door? There have been several variations of animations about carolers over the years in both Jacquie's cards and calendars. December 7th. Let's meet a fussy feline fashionista. This is one of the things that I enjoy most about this particular calendar, the unique animations that appear nowhere else. December 8th. Have you planned your seasonal journeys yet? Trains have made an appearance in 8 out of the 12 Advent calendars. December 9th. Are you thinking of family and friends? I enjoyed the greeting card designer and was glad when a version of it came back in the 2019 Cotswold calendar. December 10th. Don't forget to post those cards. The poor little girl needs help from her friends. December 11th. A day for inspiration and tranquility. An art gallery has appeared in 8 out of 12 of the calendars. Although I am an art lover, I find most of the paintings they've shown over the years to be less interesting and fun than original animations featuring the animals. December 12th. Let your imagination fly free. This and the stained glass window maker are my favorite activities from all of Jacquie's calendars. I hope that they bring these activities back in the future. In my Victorian Easter egg video, you could hear the roar that the hot air balloon makes when you click on it in the opening pages. December 13th. Time to remember the Christmas message. Stained glass windows make frequent appearances in Jacquie's cards and calendars. They are rendered beautifully by the artistic team. December 14th. Looking good? Put your best foot forward. This is a favorite animation of mine. I love that Santa shows up quite a bit in this little town. December 15th. A lovely day for icy escapades. This is another one of those ice catastrophe animations that appear in many of Jacquie's cards and calendars. December 16th. Watch for a festive welcome on your doorstep. I love decorating wreaths. This has been an activity in 7 out of 12 of the calendars. December 17th. Is your chimney ready for Father Christmas? This, along with the kite animation, reminds me of the Disney Mary Poppins movies. December 18th. Watch as colorful creations turn and twirl. This is identical to the Christmas kaleidoscope card on Jacquie's site. December 19th. Test your memory with our parlor game. December 20th. Escape the rush with our Christmas contemplation. A nativity scene of some sort has been featured in 7 of the 12 calendars. This one is nearly identical to the one in the 2020 Nordic calendar. December 21st. Let's go fly a kite. Reminds me of my childhood. December 22nd. Christmas is for children of all ages. I always love the animations that depict toys coming to life. December 23rd. Time to fill the house with the smell of baking. I didn't include the recipe in the walkthrough video, so here it is. December 24th. Birdie can hardly wait for Christmas. Some of these images have been used in other Jacquie cards and calendars. December 25th. Enjoy a Victorian Christmas. And here's the typical summary of days leading up to Christmas. This concludes my review of the 2015 Victorian Advent Calendar. This concludes Part 3 of this retrospective. Please review Part 4, which includes the 2016 Seaside and 2017 Alpine Advent calendars.